At this stage we've completed as much of the body and the face and the hair as we're going to do. Now we need to start looking at other parts. We need to add clothing to them. We need to add boots and shoes, and we need to add all these different parts to our model that'll give us a chance to explore more aspects of ZBrush, which is what we're here to do. But you can see right now I'm starting to use a different material to view the model, and I'm using, in this case, default basic material, and that's basic material 2, and that's because the specularity is really nice in this. It really shows off form, different than what you get with matte cap gray. Now I like matte cap gray, and I'll keep going back here, but I like to just switch over to basic material. I know sculptors that work in that material alone. I also created a presentation material, and this is again another matte cap material. All this stuff we're going to look at later. But let's go back to this one, basic material 2. And I want to show you one thing you can do to make this a little better. I'm going to go into materials, and I'm going to take my specularity here, open up this curve, and just drag this tighter. And that's going to really tighten the specularity a lot more. Also, you can go into material, you can increase the ambient so that the whole thing is a little bit lighter and you get less of the darkness. Okay, those are just a couple of ways that you can modify that basic material to get a different quality. But this material is also really good because you can come into the light palette and you can start to move this around and it responds. And so this way you can move it around and test it. Get a nice strong side lighting. Rotate the model around to see how it behaves. See if it has the form that you want. Things like that. I'm going to go into light and position it back in the upper right corner, which is where its default position is. And like I said, it really gives you the ability to look at form, and that specular hit is just a real nice way to observe the surface and see what kind of changes you've done. Looks like those deltoids are too large and too full when everything else is pulling in. And you always want to have this stage where you go in and refine it and take a look. My symmetry was off, so I'm going to turn symmetry back on. There we go. Pull that in a little bit. It's kind of cheating, but it works. Okay. Alright, so how are we going to go through the process of adding clothing to our model? That's all the stuff that we want to look at next. And we've got a lot of different options. There's a lot of different tools that we can explore. But basically, we're going to be adding, let's say, we definitely want to be adding pants. So we're going to look at adding jeans to this guy with a lot of holes in them. Maybe what we'll do is add a t-shirt. Something with holes as well, and maybe something that's kind of broken up and jagged a little bit with holes in and around different parts and pieces. All of that stuff. We might... It's kind of an odd zombie with that hair, right? It's like a professor that got zombified. I think pants, I think a shirt is going to be really good. You're going to want props, like a belt. Okay? And what I'm doing right now is really important, the stage of sitting down and thinking about this stuff. Do I want to put a watch on him? Because now we need to start organizing time. You know, a watch might start to make him look a little pedestrian, so I'm not sure about that. You could say put a little jogging iPad or iPod thing here, and then we can come in with some headphones. That's all possible. I kind of like that. But now's the time to decide what we're going to do. So we know pants. Okay, we're going to do shoes. I already know that. No socks. Pants are going to have holes in them and rips and all kinds of stuff. A t-shirt. Nothing else. Okay, we're going to have a belt. And we're going to have a watch or some kind of iPod arm jogger thing. And do we want a backpack? Where he's basically carrying a backpack. Some type of prop. I think we'll let it float for a little bit. These guys are going to be okay to do. So now the next step is that I get in and I start to create the base mesh for all of these, and I'll do it all at once so that I kind of see everything together and I have stand-in shapes for everything. So in the next video we're going to look at how we're going to start to create the base mesh.